podcast. Lots of dare, lots of bears. All right, let's start. Hey, this is Dare. This is the Dare Bear podcast. We're here today with
Culture Blemish.
Culture Blemish, future Grammy Award winning singer and artist. So first and foremost, let's introduce yourself. Who is Culture Blemish?
Okay, so if you know me, my name is Oluwatoyin Ogundare, but I go by Culture Blemish, and I am your local Afrobeat gospel soul sister in transition to making the world feel art through music, spoken word, and any kind of communication that you want to do. So, yeah.
Making doors open already.
Hey, amen.
So where are you from?
So I am 100% Nigerian.
Ooh, love it.
Yeah.
So you were born in Nigeria.
I was born in Nigeria.
Oh wow. Okay, you were a real one.
Yeah.
So you were born in Nigeria. Where'd you move? How old were you when you moved?
I was 5.
You were 5 years old. And where'd you move first to?
We moved to the States. United States. Yeah.
Okay, cool. And so I'd love to hear your story. You said about your parents and they met and all stuff. Can you talk a little bit about that?
So my parents, my mom comes from a particular family in Nigeria, a different status in Nigeria, and my dad was just, a very humble man. Grew up, didn't have his mom. His mom passed when he was young. He also kind of had like polio, so he couldn't walk, and he was able to just kind of like pick himself up, start going to school, became a doctor, had 2 hospitals in Nigeria. He met my mom in architecture school. She was going to be a quantity surveyor, and their love just kind of like bloomed from there. So 2 people from definitely different backgrounds, but figured it out and started to talk about what they want to do outside of Nigeria and raise their children to have exposure. That's what my dad always really wanted. And a lot of things happen. We've had a lot of beds, but we're here.
Oh, I love it. And so when your dad met your mom, was he in a wheelchair or he?
So he was walking. Yeah, he was walking at that time.
Okay, walking at that time.
But for a while, he couldn't do anything. He was also used crutches to be able to get around. And we actually think that was part of the things that affected him when he passed, because we did find out that he had stage 4 brain cancer. Yeah, by the time he was here. So I think all of those were side effects that we just weren't aware of.
Weren't aware of. That's something. Oh, got you.
Yeah.
Because I say, if he pulled your mom in a wheelchair, that's a cold boy right there. That's a cold boy right there.
You know what? I don't know. Maybe
maybe
I lapses, and he's like, baby, I just want to sit down right now. And she still sat down.
Who needs a hip? You feel what I'm saying? Who needs one? Did you move to the? Yeah, you said you moved to the States.
Yes. So we moved to the States.
Okay, moved to the States. And what was it like growing up as a young African woman in the States?
Okay, first of all, let me just say that it's like I woke up one day and I was in a totally different world.
Oh, wow.
Right? I was looking for my grandmother for the first month because I had no idea where I was. And I was seeing, different colors and different faces of people freaked me out. And it was hard adjusting, learning the anthem. People didn't understand me, trying to figure out if I actually do belong here. My parents were always saying oh, this is a good life for you. Because my parents, they never held anything back from us.
Gotcha.
Right, so from the get-go, whenever, even finances, anything like that, they always carried us along. So when we came here, they were like, hey, it's going to be an adjustment. You might not like it at first, but I promise you later on, you will appreciate it. And for those 10 years first, I was just I don't get it. I don't know how this is helping me. But after a while, you kind of you crawl, and then you learn to walk, and then you run a little bit. And by that time, I didn't know that I wasn't going to have my dad, when I started running. So I'm super grateful that we had those years for him to really train me and be like, hey, these are the things that you need to know.
How old were you when he passed away?
I was 14.
You was 14. Oh, that's a hard age to, yeah. Oh, baby you. So what type of music were you listening to growing up?
Oh, my days. Okay, first of all, I'm like a old African. If you know calypso, if you know sugar. I don't know how to say it in English. It's like
Say it in African. I don't care.
Okay.
Everyone say it in your language. What it?
Alright, but so I listen to like Aye Fella, Sunny Ade, of course Fella, you know,
The goat. Yes.
the goats,
Yes.
the people like that like I speak Yoruba, some of the Yoruba tribes, so I love all those meanings because I feel like the language cannot be translated fully in English, right? So those words, like what they mean and how they stemmed. And my father loved records, right? So my dad used to like play music all the time and dance. He's a really great dancer.
Okay.
Right. My mom, she likes music, but the funny thing is, my entire mom's side are all artists as well. Yeah. So they all sing.
Oh, because he was born, like, you already knew from the jump. From the
yeah.
ancestors, you knew what time it was.
Oh yeah. My dad could dance, but he could not sing.
My mom can sing.
But she got, yep.
Yes, she's giving it. So for you growing up, you know, being that, you know, you're in America now, right? And changing, like, was there anybody in, like, the States you listen to? Like, was you, like, bumping Chris Brown back in the day? Like, was there any, like, somebody who wasn't, you know, outside the things you was bumping?
Yo, I remember, and this is so cliche because I'm sure a lot of people will feel this way, but I remember the first American song I listened to was Hot in Here.
Ah, okay, okay.
Okay.
Shout out music video.
Oh my, yes.
Shout out 1 to 6 in Park, bro.
Yes. AJ and Free.
Yes. Okay, you grown.
Yes, I was watching that, and you know how it was.
Right.
So shout out to my uncle Wale. When we first came, he helped us assimilate, right? So he was like my mom and dad's like best friend, and where he was living in Newark. Right, so he would play all these songs. He's like, "Yo, these kids, they gotta, you know, this is how they're gonna get into the vibe." And he was like, "You know what? It was a hot day. Let's go outside. Let's watch the cars." So he bought a boombox out, and he started playing that. And I was like,
okay, for real.
I was like,
yeah.
And he was like, "Yeah, these are." But he was even like, and this is why I love him. He was like, "Listen, with this kind of song, just don't dance the way the girls are dancing."
He knew what time it was.
He was like, just
over here
just
taking
don't
souls
dance.
early.
He was like, have fun, enjoy the songs, but just
don't pick up too American. Yeah, they be doing too much.
Okay, I'll go on.
Ain't no problem.
And that was the first song, and then I fell in love with Beyonce. I love Beyonce.
So what album Beyonce was it? Was this B-Day Beyonce?
Which one? No.
Was it like Deja Vu? Was it?
It was B-Day.
Okay.
Right. It was B-Day because I loved well, is that one for Crazy Love?
I think Crazy Love is B-Day. Yeah.
B-Day, and then the one that, not Renaissance, obviously that's this one. I have this one.
Yeah.
But the one that has Smash Into You.
Oh, I haven't heard that one.
Oh, you haven't? Oh.
Yeah. See.
Oh.
I haven't. See. I
with
I
Radio.
Okay, I know that. But here's the thing too. I'm in
Satellites.
Beyonce, but I'm not Beyonce.
Okay.
Yeah, like I know Deja Vu. I know, you know, Love on, no, not Love on the Brain. That's Rihanna. But you know what I mean. Yes, that's funny. Okay. Yeah, I thought I said Chris Brown because I remember the music video for like Run It. That's the first thing I ever paid attention to. When your man hit the flow, you see, run it, yes indeed. I remember when I was a kid, I went to Atlanta. This is Atlanta 2006. This is when Atlanta was still Atlanta, right? Okay. And we went to a roller skating rink. Well, I didn't know. We went to Cascades. I didn't realize what Cascades was. So
what's Cascades?
Cascades is a famous roller skating rink in Atlanta, right? Cascades is where they shot stuff for the movie ATL. A lot of music videos that got Cascades. It was a hanging spot. You was a kid. People got jumped, shot at Cascades. Cascades was jumping. But I went to Cascades when I was like 12. I had to be like 11, 12. And yeah, I remember we walked in and all we heard was Chris Brown running and people like skating. So I always remember that. That's why you hear the song, but I remember the scene. Because that's when they were like coherently listening to something. Like, oh, this is good.
Oh, hell yeah.
It was that. And then I remember, like, that was when, like, 50 Cent was, like, still jumping.
Ooh, Chi Unit.
Yes,
yes. Wait, what's that song?
In the Club.
That one, but the other one with Snoop Dogg.
Snoop Dogg?
P.I.M.P.
Oh yeah. Yes. No. I like. Is this 21? Yeah, 21 Questions. Like, girl, you think you love me now? No. This was. No, that's one. No, it's not 21 Questions. I'm a little off.
Yeah, that is. I go 21
Questions. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was singing the wrong thing at first. I was singing Nate Dogg to 21 Questions. That's why. That's not the words. Who, Nate Dogg?
Yeah.
Is one that, what was that
The
mean?
bandana.
The bandana? I don't think that was in the bandana. Nate Dogg was singing.
Oh, yeah. Nate Dogg was good. He passed, yeah?
Yes, he did.
Oh, man. Rest in peace.
What was that song? Oh, never mind. I'm thinking about Nelly, too. I don't know. I'm off today.
See, you
Cause Camara's like, I love you. Oh,
That's with Kelly.
Nelly, I love you. I do. I do. Oh. That's what I was thinking about for 21 Questions. But that's not 21 Questions.
No, that's definitely, what's it called?
No, the song 21 Questions from Nate Dogg, but the shit from 50 Cent. Yo, something 50 Cent. I'm looking it up right now.
Because didn't he have 21 Questions? He did one with Megan Good, I remember that.
Megan Good, though?
Yes. She was like the lady in the
Oh, the music video.
Yeah.
Oh, it is with Nate Dogg. Oh, I'm not tripping. Yeah, it is Nate Dogg.
Girl.
You think you love me now? Yeah, you love me when I was down and out, but you still. They're gonna hate this podcast. I cannot sing for shit, so they're gonna hate this part. But yeah, I was singing it right. Never mind. I was singing like it was Nate Dogg's song. But anyway, those type of songs was bumping back then.
Yes.
And so, yep.
I mean, that one. What else was really good? Ciara.
Oh, my name is Sierra Father Fly Fellas.
Oh,
yeah, no music, yeah. I remember that. Missy Elliott was jumping too.
Missy
that was like time at mid 2000s.
Yang Twins.
Oh, Yang Twins was jumping too. Yeah, we was outside for that. I'm trying to remember because up north, there's a lot of down south stuff that's there. I know it now as I get older, but I wasn't there. Like Lil Bootsy, you don't know about Lil Bootsy? Bootsy Badass.
Boozy.
No, Bootsy.
Bootsy? No.
Yeah, B-O-U-S-Y. You want to talk shit? You want to run him? Okay, so he's from Baton Rouge, Louisiana. Okay. I learned when I went to A&T. Shout out North Carolina A&T State University. HBCUs matter. But he is a hip-hop artist, and he has a song called Set It Off. Okay. And him, the thing with Naming Webby, he has a lot of songs. There's a song called Day Dykin. Day Dykin. Two red bones kissing in the backseat. Yeah, they was real country, gutter. So I learned that music when I went to college. Never heard that music before. But that was still jumping then. But again, you don't know what I don't know. But it's still, he was selling records. You feel what I'm saying? But like, who was high in that time period up here? Yeah, but like 50 Cent. I'm missing somebody big. But it was like pumping up here. But I remember. No, Outkast down there. I'm talking about like up. Oh, it was Philly people. I'm talking about Philly people. Freeway. What We Do. His song called What We Do. He was on Rock Nation. Him, Benny Siegel was State Property. And I'm talking about some Philly people. You know about Benny Siegel? No. Ah, see, you was up. You was too up north.
Yeah.
Yes, he was like, yeah, because I live always outside of Philly.
I was living in Perth Amboy. I was listening to like
Daddy Yankee.
Yeah, Daddy Yankee.
Okay.
And what's his name? Aventura. Yeah. That's what all my neighbors were like. And
you know, like that like when like dance hall music was jumping again.
We Beanie Man.
Yeah, well, Beanie Man too, but it was like got somebody.
Oh yeah.
Like you.
Who was that?
That's Wayne Wonder. No Letting Go.
Yeah.
I was a little bit before my time, but I still remember that though. So I'm jumping though. It's like you're like a little bit older than me, so.
Or
he was there a little bit more than I was.
Just a little bit. Just
a little bit. Just a tad. Just a tad. Just a scotch, as you say in England. Just a scotch, isn't it? So you listen to all your musics, doing your thing. What made you say I want to do music?
Okay, it was 2015.
Okay.
Just break up with an ex.
Aww.
Yeah, it was pretty bad. It was one of those situations that you're in college, you're like, yo man, I thought this was gonna be it.
Oh, that was your boo boo. That was your thing.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. If you don't mind me asking, how did y'all break up?
Okay, so he was going into the military, and we were supposed to kind of like be together after.
Okay.
We actually got to know each other through a mutual friend. But I do stand on the fact that I think it was more like just families being so different, like the cultures not being able to blend.
What was he?
He's actually just Puerto Rican and black.
Okay, see, that seems normal. So how can that blend with you?
But I think my customs are a little bit different because I'm African.
What's your customs?
So I think their family were just not open to having a woman that not necessarily like cooks at home, but learning all the things that my religion does. I'm Christian, right? But we're like a different kind of Christian. So kind of like Pentecost, but like African Pentecost.
Okay, I get what you're saying.
You know what I mean? So it's like my father was a pastor.
Okay,
you get me?
I was saying, like, I've seen the TikTok videos. I know. Yes.
But he and I were like, when you're thrown into a different culture and you're two kids trying to figure it out, and I had never dated anyone outside my race. Period.
So I mean, race is an African.
Yeah.
Okay.
At that time, so I was just kind of like super excited, but not really being realistic. You know, and he and I were kind of like running through things like, oh yeah, it's all good to you, not thinking about like, you have to carry your family, you're blending the two. Okay. And we just never really got a good fit.
Got like footing on that.
Yeah.
All right, cool. So after that relationship.
Yes. Then I went to my music. Okay. then I was like, all right, I got to put this energy somewhere. I was in college as well. Then I got like an inspiration to kind of like dedicate myself back to God, but in like a very realistic way. Like, I'm not the Christian that's like, ugh, I don't want to do this, I don't want to do that. I'm actually more liberal, right? I'm super flexible. I just feel like my expression through God has to be so different because I'm already in the arts and I want to get into music, right? So I was like, yo, I could do secular and do Afrobeat and do gospel. And that's when I did attendance. And I did that when I was in New York, Threshold Studios, off of 44th Street.
Got that talk.
Yeah, I took that talk, man. It was a while because I swear, like, I would get a stanza for each verse, like, a week. I would, like, wake up and I would hear it, and I didn't want to rush it. So it took me about, like, 7 months.
I love that, though.
Yeah.
Preparation.
Oh, my days, yeah. All I had was the beat. I had the beat. I had my African drum, my gaga. That's what I used to make the beat. Then I was like, all right, the words are going to come. If I got this far, the words are going to come. And then I waited until I had everything. Then I went to the studio, knocked it out in 2 sessions, and put that bad boy out.
So after you release it, did you do anything to do to market it, or you just wanted it out to be out?
I wanted it out to be out. It actually did really well overseas.
I can make it makes sense. There's more of y'all over there than over here.
Shout out to my good sister. She's in Nigeria. She actually works for a publications company. So she works at, if you know RCCG, which is Redeemed Christian Church of God. It's like the conglomerate church in Africa, right? It's like huge. But she put it on the radio stations.
Oh wow!
Yeah, she put it on the radio stations, and then I would get, you'll get like the information that comes through. Germany was playing it, UK was playing it.
Did you get any like streaming money from that? Or?
I did. Yeah, I got a little something.
Oh, you know something? I got a little something.
Chicken
sandwich, you know what I mean?
So I was like, with that one, I did it more because I was like, I need to get this out.
Got you.
So if I wanted to take it seriously, I needed to focus on like what my mission is. And Culture Blemish itself is supposed to be talking about being a good taint, right? I always felt like, not just with my relationship, but like, especially coming over here, I'm constantly trying to fit in, constantly trying to find where I'm like part of the pattern or part of the people. And I just think I just prefer to splatter on purpose. So that just means like you just go wherever you are, and just do what you got to do. So you make an imprint that way. And that's really where Culture Blemish came from.
So why'd you pick the name Culture Blemish?
Cultured because it's actually like when I'm a bio student, so I went for pre-med, right? So when we used to be in the labs.
Oh, I thought that culture?
Yeah. So get it this way, right? But like,
I like it, but keep going. But I think I know where it's going. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So
great. Okay.
So when we would get different kinds of germs, right? Immediately people would be like, "Hey, this one grows faster because it's either this kind of germ or that kind of germ."
Yeah.
But I felt like with the cultured, I could be something that grows regardless, but the blemish would be that I'm not going to look like everyone else. So I'm going to be unintentionally a mess.
Okay, it's giving H1N1.
Oh no!
Is that?
Is it?
Spreads rapidly. You know what I'm saying?
Does. It
yes.
does.
It ain't perfect.
It is definitely not. But I thought, like, if you put yourself under a magnifying glass, right, and you look at all the things that spread on you, and you don't get to look at it until you really look into it microscopically, you'll realize that there's so many things around you that are the reason why you're growing. So I just thought that like Culture Blemish would make sense, like tying in being different, splattering on purpose, and then also just rapidly growing in my own way.
So after that first, single, right?
Yes.
When do you think that you transition to an actual, like, this is what I do? You know what I mean? Like, when did you become like, this is the artist, we going full in on this, like, this is what's gonna happen?
Honestly, it started off with mixed media.
Okay.
So then I started doing graphics, right? And I got really interested in embroidery. I wanted to do a lot of things with African printing. I do the geles usually, so
Yeah.
I wear like my Nigerian gele, which is like a crown for the women. You can wear it every day or you can wear it for special events. And then I started thinking about it, like if I'm going to do music, right? If I'm going to make sure I want to market things or anything like that, I need to focus on who I want to reach. Is it African people? Is it African people in diaspora? Is it people that are culturally entwined? Is it like our current day? What's that thing that happened?
That thing that happened.
That thing that happened
on that day.
On that day.
Yes.
Woodstock.
Yes, there it is.
Yes. So am I going to be like the current day Woodstock that's kind of like just open, but I spread love and I spread like my faith and doing it that way because it has to be different, but it has to be dynamic. And that's when I was like, okay, not only am I going to use this as my main media, I'm going to push my music because I want to do like lo-fi. I want people to think. My words are supposed to be like poetry. It's supposed to make you want to sit down and say like, hey, how do I feel like I'm doing right now? Is what I'm working on working? And it was more like a therapy session for myself. They always say that you don't go to therapy until 10 years after your last traumatic event. And that's true. And
I never heard that.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Psychologically. So no matter how long, that's when people make the huge decision to get help or to get worse. And when I hit that stage, I was just like, definitely gonna get better. Started seeing a therapist, started doing my media, my art. I don't consider myself to be a painter, but I would splatter.
Yeah.
Right?
A little splash, yeah.
Just a little something to see what I can do with colors.
Yeah.
Right? And then I was like, I can be in this environment. I can set up a booth. I can make a song. Then I started doing GarageBand, right? And then I started doing Pro Tools, and I started making beats. And then I started giving it to my friends, and they started spitting on it. Then I became like undercover, and I didn't do anything. And then shout out to Livingston Steel. I got a big opportunity to be in a web series in Newark. It's called The Theory of Brick City Music. So it's like all the artists in like Newark coming together and adding to a storyline. So it's kind of like I'm a smash between Lauryn Hill and India Ari as my character.
That's a good smash.
I was humbled.
I say because they're very close.
Yes.
Yet, I would say they're a little more. Yeah. So do you feel you're like them in general in your music taste, or you're just?
I think definitely Lauryn Hill. India Ari is like where I want to be. Like she doesn't make music because she's looking for the count. You know what I mean? She makes music because she has to let it out.
And she's also went quadruple platinum already. But
already,
yes.
already, because it comes with you just already being in that space and not having to worry about it. Like I don't want this to be work. It's creativity. You know what I mean? If I could, I was telling this producer that I was working with, Rock. Shout out to Rock. I was like, if I could, I know we have to keep the lights on and pay the bills, but I would totally make everything free. All my concerts, it would be like a healing session, right? Because I'm also a doula and I'm in that wellness space that I want to captivate birth, rebirth, and making sure that people have a good environment. If I could do that, oh my days, yeah, I'm good.
Talk to me about being a doula. What's that? What's that like?
My days. It is the most rewarding thing.
How'd you become a certified? Are you certified doula? Like, how'd you do that?
Okay, so shout out to CDOSJ, Community Doulas of South Jersey. That's where I got my my title and all of my training from. So I was here. Of course, I didn't want to let go of my bio degree, right? Because I work in human resources right now with Amazon. So I didn't want to let go of that because I always wanted to be an obstetrician. Right? My dad was a doctor. My mom was an architect, but then she became a nurse. My brother is a nurse as well. And I didn't want to be the only one that's just like doing HR, communications, and art. You know? But I love children. I've always raised other people's kids. I was a nanny for 4.5 years.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. with one family. Shout out to Ellis, Zora, and my baby.
Were they a
Emery.
family of color?
Yes.
Whew, good.
Oh
Okay.
my days!
I was
Yes,
like,
yes.
oh no! You was up in New York with little Chelsea.
Oh no. But you know what? I've raised different ones, but that was my last family because they were just so special, and I really wanted to grow with Ellis, and we were able to do that. And you know, now they're my nephews and my nieces.
Oh, that's so amazing.
Yeah, and I get to talk to them.
So through that program, you took classes and became a doula?
So no, once I decided that I wanted to be a doula, I found this listing on Facebook. I reached out to Miss Jody Green because she was the one like, hey, we do doula classes if you want to be a midwife or a doula.
Oh wow!
And I was like, you know what? Let me just try it.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't even know it was extensive. Like when you talk about hard work, like they do like a spiritual check on you before they even admit you to
I actually like this though. This is I'm for this though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's important because you're not going to come with any kind of spirit and then be helping someone else deliver their baby. So they checked you before they had an interview, and then they do like a wholeness spiritual check on you, and then whoever they accept, they'll let you know. And then we did a straight program.
So if the vibes ain't right, you ain't getting in.
No, absolutely not. You're getting denied.
So
At the door.
how do they know your vibes ain't right? Cause can I just finesse and give you a person that you think will like?
No, these women are spiritual.
Okay, so they know.
Oh,
deep in
yeah.
their soul.
These women, they're doing the work. They're getting not led by business or what the government is saying. They're being led by what they know they should be doing next. And this is their hard work. Right? So anyone that joins, they have to have the same mission. And they do.
How long was your training?
About 15 months.
Oh, okay. This is okay. You are yeah.
Because you have to do. We did like a straight 8-week program first, and then you have to shadow, and then after that, you have to do like a year of just having your own clientele and building your own base.
How many clients do you have?
Oh my gosh, I know that last year I had 7 babies.
Oh.
Yeah, I know last year. Yeah, it's incredible. Whether it's natural, whether it's assisted, whether it's a C-section, it doesn't even matter.
So are you like popping them in like the big like pool type stuff?
What do you mean?
You know, I be seeing like women give birth and they're like in a bunch of water.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm saying in like a knee deep pool and it's all in like, oh my god, my baby. You know what I'm saying? Is it one of those type births?
It can be like that.
Okay.
Excuse me, guys. I'm trying to not get sick.
Oh no, you're fine.
The crazy wind is out here. But so my goal is not to replace the partner.
Mm-hmm.
Right. The only times that I usually step in is when I've had like clients that they reach out to me because they're like teenage parents.
Oh.
Right. Like so we got like 16-year-olds, 18-year-olds, 21-year-olds, or they have partners that are not participating in the journey. Then I'm gonna assist. But anyone that has a partner already, dad, or whether it's their girlfriend or their wife, it doesn't even matter. Like I'm there to make sure that like, hey, these are the things that we should be watching for. What kind of birth journey are you expecting? Do you want to be assisted? And these are the things that you should know going forward, just about like the healthcare system in general.
Got you. So question, all right, I was wondering this, right? So let's say me and my wife have our baby with you, right?
Yes.
And
Congrats.
Thank you, right? Hypotheticals, because I don't want no kids right now, right? I'm not even married yet. So, we have a baby in our tub, right?
Yes.
At the brib, right? Do I have to then go to the hospital to get like Social Security work and all that extra stuff?
You do have to.
I'm about to say, because
Yeah.
isn't technically that's like an unknown person at this point?
Yes, but if you have a midwife with you, we can get some of those things done as well.
So a doula and midwife aren't the same thing?
No. A midwife can administer medication and all those things, and like if something goes wrong, like they'll be focused on delivering the baby emergency, but still getting you to the hospital.
And the doula does what?
The doula, we focus more like preparation,
Gotcha.
getting the settings ready, and then we can still help you
Of course.
with the baby.
You know, like a handhold, you know what I mean?
Yeah, well, yeah, a handhold, but also like making sure everything is like okay. Most doulas are cross-trained into midwifery.
Got you. I think that's why.
Yeah.
'Cause a lot of times I hear about doulas, like, you know, it's kind of the same thing. Of,
Yes.
You know what I mean? Hey, Erica Badu's a doula. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah,
yes.
she is.
I would be so happy I got to do birth my baby. That would be incensed and blessed.
You have no idea.
So, it seems like you do a lot of things creatively, a lot of different passions in there. What would you say has led you to do that, right? Some people, like, I just want to work in media, right? That's all I want to do, right? Everything else is cool, but your boy just wants to do this and eat some jerk chicken. So, like, what made you say, I not only have a passion for singing and media, but I want to do way more things like that?
Honestly, because I want the freedom. I believe in serving in everyone else's dream and their vision, but if I have my own, then it's time for me to commit to that.
Obviously, yeah.
So I don't know if it's because they say I'm a Gemini and I get like, I'm like always on the go and always doing something, but I could do a different job every day of the week, and I know I can handle it. So being able to tie everything together, because it doesn't feel like work to me, it makes it easier for me to be like, oh yeah, let me jump into this, let me jump into that, and then I just want to curate other people and be an example so that they will come along, and if it's already started, they don't have to reinvent the wheel.
When did you do your first show?
2015.
So the same time
Yeah.
when you dropped your first single, you did a show.
Yes.
What was your first show like?
Scary.
Yeah.
I was petrified because I only had an acoustic guitarist with me.
Okay.
But Attendance is a song that you can sing accompanied or by itself.
Oh, good.
So I sang it in Newark at this like small mom and pop open shop.
Okay.
I was not really opening, but like opening for the opener.
Yeah.
You know, so
Gotta start somewhere.
it's like just something like
Hey,
I
yeah.
wanted to see how I could do. And then after that is when I go into the web series, and then I started doing like the distillery, and I started doing Brick City Jams and things like that. So those started kind of coming in through, and then I do other things just like as a speaker, just for the youth. So then I started doing more events that had to do with African diaspora, where they would call me to sing, or like I did have like a talk show and things like that. So I started doing a little bit of those, and it just became more like a personality to do things more.
What was, you would say, your best show where you just killed them? What was your best show?
Oh my days. The wellness event that we just did last year.
Oh, really?
Yes. We did a huge wellness event at a Newark yoga studio. Super intimate. I pinned it on my Instagram.
Okay.
Okay.
Check out Instagram. What's your Instagram, by the way? So people know.
Culture Blemish.
Okay, cool. Okay, back to your program. Keep going.
So it felt so genuine. Everyone they were like seated down, because we were doing yoga, we were doing stretching, we were doing music. Myself and like 4 other artists came and we performed, and I got to perform a special song. It's called Wait For It, and it's actually Yoruba and English, and it's from one of my grandmother's favorite songs.
Aww.
And I spun it into a song for myself, and it's from basically like the soundtrack of Hamilton.
Oh, listen, I have a secret thing about Hamilton, but
Really?
I feel Hamilton is overhyped. I know, I might lose some people, but someone has to say it. I think Hamilton is over. Where's that your candle? Hamilton is overhyped. Now, why is Hamilton overhyped? There's
why?
what you're gonna say, right? All because somebody is taking a cool take on a story that not a lot of people hear of, right? Doesn't make that take groundbreaking and huge, right? Is it bad? No, I never said that. But it's overhyped because people remember it was the whole mania of like Hamilton and yes and I'm a founding funny when you're being funny. You know what I mean? It's like how good of rapping are they really doing, or is just people who's not used to stuff just going into it? And I think like that's my thing about it. It just makes no sense to me. People were so happy about some white people rapping.
Right.
Now, You'll Be Back is the good song though. That's 10 out of 10. No notes, no crumbs on the
Are
board.
you sure?
That's the best song in the whole entire thing is You'll Be Back.
Wait For It? You don't think Wait For It is good? Oh.
Anyway,
Wow.
I guess. I didn't say it was bad, but.
So you don't like Hamilton?
I didn't say that.
We lost one.
I'm just saying it's a little overhyped. That's all. I didn't say you lost it. I didn't say you did that. I said you did good. But Hamilton is just a skosh of a little overhyped. There's better musical plays.
Okay.
Yes.
I can respect that.
Also, I like old school theater.
What's old school theater?
Like The King and I,
Ooh.
Pacific,
Okay.
and The Sound of Music is my favorite. Sound of Music is the best soundtrack of human history, and I stand on that. Like out of all like musicals, first of all, I mean talking about like musicals that turned into movies, nothing beats Sound of Music. That's A. Julie Andrews is the GOAT, and no one can ever touch her.
Well,
B.
that's true.
And the soundtrack with Sound of Music, just straight songs, kills any. I stand on that because there's too many deep. They go too deep. They go too deep. Because we can answer like 2 songs for Hamilton, right?
Okay.
We can argue that, right? And then a lot of people have like a main song, right? Okay. So first of all, the Sound of Music has a whole song on the basics of singing. They just say do re mi, fa sol la ti do. Do a deer. They're teaching you how to sing, and you feel what I'm saying? It's the literal sound. No, it's okay. You know how to. It's fine. You start with do. That's the entry port. Ray, a drop of Golden Sun. Me a name I call myself.
Fa.
Fa minor one. Yes.
Okay.
Let's bring us right back to do, right?
Good night.
And then you go to the end of it, they spit in it and it's crazy, right? That's just one. Then I'm 16, but I'm going on 17. Fellas, they're gonna fall in line. You know what I'm saying? You feel what I'm saying? Long on the Hill is a lowly go-hurt. You're a lady who? And we ain't even talk about my favorite things. How you gonna say we're problem like Maria? How you gonna take a cloud and pin it? Don't get me started.
Ladies
the Sound of Music is the greatest musical ever made. I will stand on that forever. That's 6 songs I gave you. You can give me 2. I think what musical has 6 songs hitting? And The Lion King's a movie, not a musical. Thank you. Get your ass out of here. Get your ass out of here.
But it was made into a musical though.
I said what was okay. I get that. I understand that, right? But that then goes into name the songs in Lion King. Name me the songs. Guna Matata. Yeah, I got you. What else? Can You Feel the Love Tonight?
Yes.
That's 2. Who else?
Circle of Life.
That's 3. What else?
Timon and Pumbaa. That's that song that they did.
What's the song?
Sugar. Their song, their introduction song.
The introduction song.
Yeah.
When they're eating like
grub, and they just meet each other.
What's that song? Like I wanna be a mighty king. I'll give you that one. I just can't wait to be king. Okay, I'll give you that too. So like, that's a strong 5, right? That's a strong 5. Yeah, that's a strong 5.
So.
But then Sound of Music has
6, fine. They got one more.
They have Edelweiss, which is a whole Austrian, because they're in Austria, classic.
How are you gonna make me want to watch the film again?
It's so goddamn good. Now, I'm not gonna lie. Is it long as hell? Yes. After it had a little intermission in between. Because it gets boring after, like, the Nazis come. The Nazis are there, but when they really start coming, it gets a little boring after that. But, like, once you get into the stuff before that, though, I'm missing one, though. What's the one? It's when they start getting together. Her and the dude. Well, first, even the theme, The Hills Are Alive, The Sound of Music. We didn't talk about that. Wait a minute. Now I gotta look at the thing to go bar for bar, but I'm missing one. Though.
Okay, shout out to Julie Andrews also in Mary Poppins, because she killed that.
Absolutely no. You know that she was pregnant, and Disney didn't want to put her in there because she had a baby and stuff. And Walt Disney was like, "We'll wait as long as it takes. She has to be Mary Poppins."
Oh, that's what I like.
That's all I gotta say. All right.
Okay, Walt.
Let me see. Yeah, Maria. I have confidence. For everything you see, I have confidence in me.
Can you play that?
We're gonna boot this out on YouTube, but.
Oh yeah, that's true.
No, don't worry about it.
I can't with you. You have the whole. Yo.
Wait, I gotta get to the good part.
Julie.
Bro, we're listening to this right now. We're gonna beat this little part. You probably don't want to hear this. But yep. Heaven bless them. Bro. Come on now.
Okay.
Come on now.
Why you gonna love something?
And then it's So Long Farewell.
So long.
Avita, say. Don't let me start me. Don't start it. And we stopped at Lion King, bro. Thank you. Sound of Music.
Okay.
Sound of Music.
One for you.
Speaking of this on this topic, what's your top 5 albums? Anything, but straight music.
Okay. You guys might not know it. Gratitude.
Okay, that's one. Oh, you're right. 2 to 8.
No. That's
one.
That's
Okay,
the first one.
second.
Coloring book.
By Chance.
Chance the Rapper.
Okay, Chano. What else?
Honestly, Drake. That what's it called? The one that he had Controller on. That all of that was great. All of that was great.
Is it Views? Is that Views?
Is that when he's on the corner? Yeah.
Yeah, might be Views. Yeah.
Cause Too Good was too good. Too Good was too good. And then let's see. Who else do I really like? I mean, I don't know if I like people like that.
You do? Well, I'm gonna say mine. You can think about your last two. There's a woman named Celia Cruz. You ever heard of Celia Cruz?
Celia Cruz, no.
Celia Cruz is from Cuba. She's called the Queen of Salsa. Afro-Latina. She was a proud black woman too. She actually claimed us. And it's it's a dude named Johnny Panchero, but it's Celia and Johnny. Is the thing is they dapper themselves up. The best. Listen, the rent was due. The eviction notice was at the door, and sis came through and said, "You know what? I'm gonna leave it all on the line." So that one,
she killed it.
Celia and Johnny, that album, Midnight Marauders by Tribe Called Quest, Stevie Wonder, Songs in the Key of Life. This the one.
Celia and Johnny.
Straight heat. Songs in the Key of Life.
Alright, I'm gonna check it out.
Outcast Aquemini.
Okay.
And lastly, there's a song with B.B. King and Bobby Bland. It's a blues record. It's them live. It's called Together Again. Yeah, Together Again or First Time Together. It's the first one.
B.B. King.
B.B. King. You know B.B. King? I know B.B. King, right? And Bobby Bland. You never heard of Bobby Bland?
I don't know.
He made a song. It's called Heart of the City. And Kanye West snipped it up, too.
Of course, Kanye would.
Yes, but yeah.
Oh, yeah. What am I saying? Kanye is definitely... I don't care what anyone says.
No, I'm the same way.
Kanye?
Kanye's, yes.
Kanye's, yes.
And I was telling you before, everything up to Life of Pablo. After that, he kind of fell off. But we take that run of 2005 to 20 for 11 years. He was arguably the biggest, greatest rapper in human history.
Even the album that he did with Jay, it was because he was on it. That's why he made
Watch the Throne, yes.
That's the only reason why. Like, I just wish he would. I wish he would take the time to realize that we are all still loving him, no matter what he's going through.
His first record, it's playing. It's called Last Call, and he tells a story about how he got signed. He named "Here's to the Rock." It's the Rockefeller. Like you can hear it. It's beautiful. It's called Last Call. You ever heard of Last Call?
No.
At the very end of his first album, he talked about all the stuff he's going to do and how he had no money, how Jay and Dane believed in him, and how he was making. And so he had a song and the lyrics he wrote. But I remember the bar in it. He says it is mayonnaise color Benz I push miracle whips.
Ooh.
That was the thing. He was like rapping it, and he was like, "Yeah, that was a song." It was a whole story. That's what I'm saying. That kind of thing, right? People always say, we always get in this argument, he's just, ever since his mom died, that's why everybody uses that. And I get that, right? That seems very breaking. But on the same token, I feel like his mom passed away and he still made 3 other good albums, right?
Yeah.
So that doesn't negate, A, his system of making music. B, I feel is that, when it's hard when you're the best person in the room, it's even harder that everybody works for you for a reason. So they're not going to tell you no because they work for you.
Right.
So it's hard to really get chance. And I can't imagine mentally what does that do when no one says no. Imagine all you wanted, no one give a fuck about you for years, and you put the work in and put the work in and put the work in and had nothing. And put the work in on my first album, and still, that don't mean nothing, just one album. Put the work in and put the work in and put the work in. And now, that's 2-3 years later after that, I'm winning Oscars and Grammys, and George Bush didn't care about white people, and now I get even bigger, and now I have a brand. I'm signing to other people. I got Big Sean now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And now I'm hot. Now I'm a billionaire, right? Now I get to that point, right? I have the alleged baddest woman on earth, right? Yeah, you know, and things going in, and now I'm in the media, and you know what I mean. Things happen quick. 1 minute you here, next minute you there, and imagine through all of that, or ups and downs of your life, you never get to know, and you have all the money in the world. So whatever you think of, you can get. That's the scariest thing. I'm with Kanye. You know what I'm saying? Because when you have all those options, right? When you have all that power, right? It's hard to go unchecked. You feel what I'm saying?
Okay.
And you know, I'm gonna go bonkers too. Like I'm gonna go bonkers too if I could buy a monkey and live in Neverland. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? Like I think that's the thing here. Like people always talk about wealth, and you know people say like, oh, money doesn't mean nothing, right? I never met like there's only a couple people who's really wealthy who said that to my face, right? That's A. People, I always say, people say money is everything, but I've never seen anybody cry in a Lamborghini. You feel what I'm saying?
But you know what? This is the thing that we would never see that.
It's true. That is true. But let me at least see it and let me be the hurt one. You know what I'm saying?
But you know, I feel like it's cliche, but they always say like the richest people are the saddest people, right? But I don't think access is a problem. Like this is what you wanted. Think about all the times that you were like, hey, if I could make it to be this great artist, this is what I would do. Why would you let other things come in between that? The goal hasn't changed because you only have a platform because of what you said you would do. You know what I mean? So like, if you start getting swayed and persuaded, then you might just need to change the people. You already have the following. It's not going to be a problem if people are like, hey, Kanye's going back to his old ways.
But I think that's the problem. The people around you aren't people to say, bro, you're tripping. The people around you are going to say, this is the right thing to do, but...
But I think Kanye knows he's tripping.
So why does he do it, you think?
I think he's doing it because he's trying to say something right now.
What's he trying to say?
That everything that's going on is what's going on. With the government, with, you know... We're not trying to get us, like...
No, it's okay. We listen, the Illuminati control... No, but like, no, I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying. I feel like when they said, like, slavery is a choice, right? Yeah. I get what he was trying to say, right?
He said it the wrong way.
He said it the wrong way. My great-granddaddy did that. We wouldn't be sitting next to each other, right?
Yes.
And I just feel like, you know, in a way, yes, but also in a way, hell no. Like,
no, definitely not.
Yeah.
And slavery affected everybody.
Yes, very much so.
Right? Because it affected Africans with the way that when we come abroad, we feel like there's no connection yet, so we have to make that bridge again. Right? It affected African Americans because now you guys have to kind of do the tracing to try to find where you're from. It affected white people because they're not easy right now. They're always walking on like stilts because they don't know if there's ever going to be a moment where everyone's going to change their mind about having peace.
You know what I said too? Now this is about to go. I'm gonna cut this clip out because this is real as hell.
Yeah.
When South Africa got Nelson Mandela, he should have. Woo, boy, he should have. He should have. I wouldn't have led with peace. That's the only quick thing. That's not that bad. I don't have to cut that over YouTube, but that's me.
Listen, and I still think some things were done that we will never find out about unless we do the deep digging. I don't think there was no restitution. But
shouldn't there have been?
No, I don't think that there wasn't any restitution.
Oh.
I just think we'll never find out about that.
Do you think the people at the top just said forget it and we'll just take it and they're still?
I think they took it into their own hands.
Ain't that sad?
Yeah.
You know, I'm gonna address this too. Do you feel that there's rampant corruption in African countries?
Yes.
Because I always hear about that and see that. But like,
oh yes.
Okay. Why do you think that's from?
It's not even the love of money. It's the love of being able to know that you'll never have to worry about not having it. Right? So, first of all my Nigerians, diaspora, wherever you are, make sure that you're updating your PVC, you're going home to vote. Right? We're voting this February, and we're not playing around because the next decades of our lives and the people that are back there, whether we feel like we're affected or not, depends on who's there to say, hey, this is who I believe in as a leader. So you need to be taking action. All right? Just saying. But I think there's so much corruption, especially in Africa, because like we've had so many years and so many leaders who have had it and not shared. So that when people, they don't know how else to lead. There's no other blueprint. Right? So it makes it harder, even if you say like you have all these things that you're going to do by the time you get there, the people that are there haven't moved for the past 20 years.
If you know better, you do better. Yeah.
But even if they do better or they know better, it's hard to do better because you're constantly kissing ass.
So you have to check the system up.
You would have to uproot My brother always says this. He's like, you would have to kill everything.
Because my thing is, do you think it was just white people was in there so long, so that was their things of seeing it, and so they was like, well, listen, I deserve this.
You know what? I think it's more like, yes, there's influence for people who are white, Asian, that had power and control, and they taught them what it means to be able to have people answer to you, and to make them want it before you give it, right? So it's like the manipulation. But I think it's more like our leaders right now, they are constantly choosing to sacrifice whether they're going to be protected and okay by the people that they're saying yes to, or they're going to be like the people that they're trying to lead. And we all know what they're going to choose. And that's just what it is.
Ain't that sad?
That is.
You would think in a country literally built for people that look like you, around people who look like you, with resources that you could have kept and built wealth upon, but then it's crazy. Can you see? Because I think we always talk about, like pro-blacknism, right, in this country, right? I went to historical black college, right? There was a time where I couldn't go to UNC Chapel Hill. I had to go to North Carolina A&T, right? And I thought we always say, like, black people need to be together and stuff like that. And examples when they're black people together or, African people together, right? I'm African somewhere. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right
So, and you see those examples, though, and you see, oh, dang, when we are together, this is how we act. You feel what I'm saying? So it just, I don't know, it was always weird to see, because from far away, you see a certain look of what Africa looks like, African countries, right? Of course, different countries do different things. You can't make a black statement. But a lot of places that we see, the Ghana, the Nigerias, things of that nature, and I think what I was alluding to before is that when you get over here, there's air I get from Africans. Like, it's kind of like if they rock with us, but they feel a little better than us.
Oh, okay.
Yes. So, funny story. I was in a class called MATLAB, and my engineers know about MATLAB. I'm in MATLAB class, and right next to me is my best friend, Jared, right? Okay. This is my boy, my dog, my slime. This is my guy, right? And to put everything, I used to be in biological engineering, and this is when I was failing stuff. So I didn't care at this point. I was like, listen, I always say, the ship's sinking, you might as well go scuba diving. You feel what I'm saying? We all right here, might as well see some fish. So me and Jared are in there, we're doing work, we're getting our work done. It's an open lab is taught by a TA. Okay. First, when we first got there wasn't a TA for the first 2 weeks. Let's start there. So they already came in sloppy, and the TA barely knew what he was doing. I think he was Nigerian.
Really?
Yeah, I think he was. And so he was always trying to hit on our one female classmate, but he was so he didn't really like it. But he would try to tell us what to do, but in a very commanding way. And you're like, bro, what the heck is wrong with you? So here's this. Again, this is about to be a bad story, but this is a real story, right?
Yeah.
He is a bad story for what we did.
What'd you do?
He would come up to us. Me and Jared doing our work, right? We joking, we having fun, and he was like, "What are you doing?" And I was like, "Well, we're doing our work and stuff like that." He was like, "You always chip to each other, and stuff like there." And I was like, it's like, no, I mean, like I got it done. And he was like, "You lazy niggas.
Whoa.
All you want to do is just talk." Yes, we said, Richard, "You lazy niggas." Now this is where it gets bad. I go, "I don't know the wrong side of the hut you woke up this morning. You need to shut the fuck up before I hit you." Now, Jared's dying now. I'd have people quiet, but Jared's hot. Like we're laughing, right? And then I was like, or maybe you can be in Stephanie's face since you love her so much, your dusty ass. Ooh. Dragged it. Of course, I got a D in that class, but the thing here is that put a bad taste in my mouth, right?
Yeah.
Because in HBCUs, there's a lot of African students, and they come in there in engineering and in the STEM fields. But they don't want to talk to you, maybe around you, and there's that kind of air about it.
So, you had multiple people that you got that energy from?
Yes, very much so. On campus and in my college. Like, it wasn't like, we're one people. It was, I'm here and you're just a nigga from where you're from. That was the energy I gave.
Well, first of all, let me say this. Because I always have seen myself as, like, the bridge of apology between African Americans and Africans. Like, that's in no way, shape, or form how we see people. There are differences between what people categorize as respect. And I know that that's how some people make judgment, but it's still judgment. You understand?
Yeah.
So first of all, he should not be saying that.
Oh, of course.
Right?
Yeah.
Fact. That's that.
Yeah.
Whether you're black or not, you shouldn't be saying that. And I think with Africans, there is a little bit of a pride that we have of being African.
As you should.
But it should never be to look down on other people. Like I know that I'm excited when I get to learn a little bit more about America, about the culture. When people tell me like, "Oh, Tony, I'm gonna put you on this, blah blah blah," and I learned more about it because I didn't know about slavery. I didn't know about all that stuff.
Are you serious?
Well, I knew about it, but like, I wasn't directly affected.
Oh, obviously.
You know what I mean? So like the storybooks and the things that they taught us in Nigeria is all what we learned here.
Well, what did they teach you in Nigeria?
They taught us about the culture of Nigeria.
But didn't teach you about how there was some people who was two steps slower than y'all got to.
No.
That's crazy.
They don't teach it, but they're talking about the foundations of the fathers. They're talking about the culture and your dialect, and because there's like between each nationality, there's a different dialect for each town.
When was Nigeria founded?
1960.
1960.
Yeah.
And who had Nigeria before 1960?
UK.
UK.
Yeah.
Okay. This is a question too, and you don't gotta answer this. But what was, you gotta guess, what was Nigeria before they were Christian?
Oh, absolutely. What's it called? Ijile, meaning like foundationally. I don't know how do you say the word.
Cause I'm trying to say is that like, is there people in your country that still follow those over?
Oh yeah, definitely. We still do it.
Okay.
Yeah, like trust me.
Okay.
We have not, like my last name, Ogudare. Ogu is the god of iron.
What? That's
Yeah.
so cool.
Yeah, Ogudare means the god of iron is great.
Okay, we're on the same page.
Yeah.
I was wondering that. Okay, listen, I'm a Christian too. Jesus is great, but at the same time,
They're deities.
Yeah, and I feel like before he was on Earth and we was over there in Nigeria, it wasn't like they was in hell right now. You know what I mean? They had to go something. You know what I mean? They didn't know. He wasn't even here yet. So I feel like there has to be some type of truth in there what they was getting on.
So I think it also has to do with the different kinds of heavens,
Mm-hmm.
right? So as we got older and we moved towards technology, we stopped relying on natural things,
Mm-hmm.
right? That also means it takes away the power from us being able to be inquisitive and to find out,
Mm-hmm.
right? Fuck around, find out, right? But we weren't fucking around. We kind of like instinctively knew what to do when it was cold, when it was harvest season.
Yeah.
You know, and those are the things that have to do with the spirits and the gods that kind of tell you where you're supposed to go. It doesn't mean that they're always telling you to do good things, because
Obviously.
everything is an influence, so you have to figure out what you want to keep, what you don't want to keep. But it definitely has to do with knowing the land and knowing that it's going to yield for you.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's the biggest thing with Africans. Like, we know where, like, when you're born, you know how in America, like, they throw the placenta away?
Mm-hmm.
We bury it. Trees will grow out of it.
Wow.
You know what I mean? So you can know where your afterbirth is. And that's important because you speak to the soil, and that means it has to yield to you. So these things are the things that, if I could, I would bridge it like, you guys, we have to see this as an advantage. Right? You're African and you're American. Put whatever you can speak to the soul because of your ancestors and because of everything that they've done to make sure that we have this freedom and liberation. And this world and this soil has to do that for you.
Mm-hmm. Cause I feel like actually you said it's absolutely beautiful. Cause I feel like over here is a big thing about staying woke, right?
Oh
Yeah, you gotta be woke for it, bro. You know what I mean? The deoxytize your body, and that's how the blueberries and the elders,
Elderberries.
the elderberries, the demasculate, the melanin. I mean, everybody talks about that, right? So as somebody who's actually in Africa, you would think in our environment we always talk about what's those things. You know what I mean? Because I always think about that as well, is that Christianity in general, was sometimes used to flip people, right? I think that too is that our sense of Christianity is a little bit different than yours is. Is that here we was forced to do certain things. You know what I mean? So, as a deeper level in a way, it's like you might be right, but it's like you still like how to put it is that I know when my great grandparents was here, they wasn't Christian. They was African people who believed in a certain time stuff, right?
Yes.
They gave us to us so we could survive. If we wasn't praising Jesus, it was a wrap. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I think that's why our relationship as in Christianity as a whole is a little more severed. You know what I mean? Just in the black church is a big thing where it talks about in the black community.
But you know what? I think also in Christianity it has to do with the fact that it's the gradient of who Christ has been over time, making him white, right? And not making it a situation where, I mean, they talk about slavery in the Bible.
Oh, obviously.
Right, but there've been so many
slaves,
there've been so many edits to the truth. So you really have to do the deep diving, and it's a spiritual thing. Like when you read the Bible, because English is terrible, right? It's the wrong translation. You have to read the original Bible, because some of the things that they did, the people did it in favor of those that would be reading it. If you read the original Bible and you read the original stories in the language that it was presented, you'll realize that it's not like slaves don't mean slaves. Yeah, it means people that have someone that's like an authority figure over their work. You know what I mean? So in the like in English it would be like, and slaves be submissive to your masters and stuff like that. Like master is not just the person who's the head. Master is someone who has also taken the time to be diligent in that work. So master doesn't have to be someone that's over you. It's just someone that's experienced.
Okay, you're like a Shaolin master. You know,
It's just a subject matter expert. That's all it is.
A subject matter expert.
Yeah, that's it. That's what a master is. So it's not necessarily even to say like, hey, you're supposed to bow down to the person that's above you. It means also be humble and listen and be taught by people who might know a little bit more than you.
What do you say is the most common misconception of Nigerians?
That we're arrogant.
You're talking about being arrogant. Yeah.
I think this is the thing. Nigerians, we have pride because we have nowhere else to put it.
That's a bar right there.
We have nowhere else to put it. We don't. Do you realize that Nigeria and a lot of African countries, but Nigeria is one of the prayer capitals of the world. Like there are like 50 churches on one street, right? But people are asking the same prayer for 50 years, right? We're not even looking to get $1 million. We're looking to survive. We're looking to do better than we did before. We think about inheritance. We think about heritage. We think about destiny. We think about purpose, right? And all those are the things that give us joy, because we've not been able to place it in anything else, not in where we live, not in the system of our schooling, not in our government, not in our leaders, right? We figured it out. Nigeria is the only place where there's an entrepreneur at 4 years old because they're hawking bread. You know what I mean? So like we have kids that they already know how to hustle because they know they're not going to school. They know that this is where you gotta make it. You better learn this trade and be great at it.
See, because that's what I'm saying. You would think that a country, and of course it's 1960, right? How much time can you really get, right? There's years and years in the country.
Right.
But on the same token, they hear that this, run by black people, ancestry black people, is in a place of not poverty, but you know what I'm saying? Like, not everybody in Nigeria is broke, you know what I mean?
No.
At all, right? But the same token, the fact that, like, I know as poor as I could be, I'm gonna still go to public school. You know what I mean? Like, no matter what, at least go to high school, right?
Yeah.
As poor as I could be, there's still semblance. If I do something right, I'm gonna be okay. You know what I mean?
Right.
I'm gonna meet certain people. So the fact that, like, never wrong being entrepreneurial, but you're entrepreneurial because you want to over there. I mean, over here rather.
Yeah.
And then over there you have to. You have to.
Yeah.
And I think that's the thing that makes me kind of sad, is that you would think that in a place for us, of course there's banking and there's outside things that have to affect the global political, market. But it's still crazy to look at it though, because I feel like we always talk about in the black community, we need our own and buy black and then. So an example of a black country is what they do. Does that even give you, you know what I mean?
You know what? It used to make me feel some type of way, but now look at it. This is what allows us to be able to already have the grit wherever we go. You know what I mean? So that it makes it easier to be like, hey, I'm kind of like doing this to make sure that I can be the best. You know what I mean? So like we're not really. I wish I could show you guys how much we don't need to be assholes or to.
This is
be
why I'm a lazy nigga. You feel what I'm saying?
No.
Because the grit. I was thinking that. We said the grit.
No, but you know what? There's a difference between disrespect.
That's true.
There's a like. That is not supposed to be.
That brought me. That was so funny to me. I know it's not just here. Oh, they're so sorry, but just know I was fine because I died laughing.
Yeah, but that's your fellow man. We look at you guys as pull us through. You know the land.
Really?
Yes.
See, that's the thing though. The difference is, like, again, this is my experience, right? I'm not speaking for all black people, but I do feel it's as growing up, it was kind of like I think it was this too, right? Being from up north in Jersey, right? A lot of African families are either a more upper middle class because they put the work in, right?
Okay.
Or B, they're working class with other people, right?
Okay.
And so, being in a suburban area, right, I see a lot of upper middle class African people, right?
Okay.
So they kind of like, again, extremely Christian, look down on you, have the same type of Republican values as most people have, right? And the same stuff.
Not Republican, by
Well,
the way.
Oh, I know, but yeah, but have those same type of things.
Right.
And then when you get around them, you around their kids, their daughters. You know what I'm saying? The vibe's a little bit different than if I was African talking to them as a fellow African person. You know what I mean? And so it's kind of like in the black community of era of, you know what I mean? Like you're a part of us, like we say, but really at its root, you don't even like us. So why help you? You know what I'm saying? It's like I know you're gonna be on some. Not be on some BS, right? But I just know as a whole, you really, I feel like you look down on me. You know what I mean? Is that you're African, you know, I have the heritage, I have the people, I have the, you know, the stuff, and you're just a nigga from Detroit. You feel what I'm saying? That's why I kind of feel that energy. Is that even if I think too, my grandfather always said this, is like poor white people, right? Even if I'm poor in Mississippi, I have nothing, I'm still not a nigga. You feel what I'm saying? No matter what.
That's strong.
That's strong, right?
Yeah.
But then I think they get not as bad, but it gives the air of like we're over here, we doing good. I don't know what y'all black folk doing, but that's not
No,
really.
and it's first of all, sorry, my nose is like running. Thank you for being honest, first of all, because I know this is a conversation that is always going to come up.
Hey, this is what the podcast is for, baby. Yes.
And I can see why you would say that from the perspective of the African American. This is why they're like, no, like, fuck Africans. Like, you think you gotta
buy us and figure us out. You know what I mean? Yeah.
But we're really looking for community. Like, think about it. When I came here, I was excited to see black people because I'm like, I've never seen Asians or white people or anything like that, right? Little things that I didn't know about, like. You know, it's not necessarily cold in Nigeria, right? We have Joss that maybe gets like a little bit of snow, like flurries, but that's about it. But I remember seeing my father come, and I was telling my brother, I was like, your father smokes. Because it was just like the breath.
Oh, that's funny. I thought you were really smoking on that gas. Like, just want to smoking on that gas.
You know what? I don't know. I don't know.
I think he might have.
My dad was bad cool.
At least once. Maybe not often, but at least he hit the blunt once. I would assume so.
To come to America and to have to go to medical school all over again after being a doctor in Nigeria with 2 hospitals, I would smoke some gas.
I'll smoke some gas.
I would definitely
rip
a little bit.
At least an Angry Orchard. You know what I mean? At least a hard cider for sure.
At least a hard.
He deserves it. He worked hard.
My dad definitely used to like beer.
What is that?
Yeah, he had a Stella.
Nice grown man beverage.
Yeah, we used to do stout in Nigeria.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah, he definitely used all of that, Guinness, all of that. And that's what I love about him. Like, you can be someone who loves Christ and be yourself. You know what I mean?
Not a lot of people hear that. I think that's the problem too.
Why?
Cause I feel like Christ to us is, I think even like the black church, like being in the black church, right? I don't know if you're a little different, but for me, being raised in the black church too, there's certain things how you should act. You know what I mean? Oh, you know, like that. You know, like that girl fast. You know what I mean? You hear those type of conversations. You hear.
But how do you know?
I know that. But that's what I'm saying is that there's a lot. If you notice, a lot of people our age aren't as deep in the church. They're there, but it's not as much.
Because they push them out.
Exactly. Or, you know, like church is for grown people. Really, if you think about it, church is for your auntie, not for you. You know what I mean? Like I think that's the feeling too. Is that you're in church, it's choir, stuff like that. It's cool, but it's like I know it's an air of that. You know. I don't know, it's not as accepting to me in this time. I think that's why traditionally people have a lot of things with like going to church. I would say, I love Jesus. Do you love me? I love God.
Absolutely.
But sometimes the session of going to a church and going for that and people's attitudes and air, that's happened.
And that's our fault.
Mm-hmm.
That's our fault as the people in the church.
Mm-hmm.
If we're dressed up in our sin, and it makes it look like it's perfect, and we don't let other people come as they are. This is what I tell everyone. I don't care about anything. I see everyone as a spirit, right? My job is not the job to do what I think the Holy Spirit wants to do in someone else's life. I'm here to love. I'm here to be honest. I'm here to be genuine. And if it works, it works. And if it doesn't, it doesn't. Because that might not be my assignment. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I know my purpose here is not to ever make people feel like I don't belong, right? Whether it's just a smile or whether it's just like always being able to encouraging or even just being there and be like, yo, we're here at this BS again, but we're gonna make it through. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not, and that's the way I act at church. Like, I dress the way I dress to church. I sit in the front because I'm there to meet Christ.
I mean, that is drip. I'll put that out there. You say that, but not like you do have drip now.
I just a little bit, but just a little bit. But you know what? That's what I'm saying. Like, God probably had the illest empath fours, you know, or something like that. Like, I'm not worried about if I'm wearing a suit or not, or if I should be wearing joggers. Like, don't look at me.
I get you.
You know what I mean? So, if you're questioning whether or not you want to come back to the church, and maybe this is our thing, maybe what we have to do as people is create a new church. Like, I know I would never be a pastor, but I would definitely preach in different ways.
You'd be good a music director.
Music director?
Yeah. Can you play the piano?
I cannot.
Well, we can get somebody to do that. It's alright. But you got a little choir?
Hey.
A little Kurt Franklin. You like Kurt Franklin?
I do.
Okay, cool.
I do.
I don't know. Kurt Franklin's bumping over there.
I like Kurt Franklin.
Oh, question 2.
Yes.
This is my last question before we end. I want to go to a Nigerian wedding. You always see them on TikTok. What is that like?
Listen.
Going to are people always late? Y'all out because black folk late too.
So it's a little late.
Okay,
it's definitely a little late. If we say 4:00, it's probably gonna begin at like 6.
That's a little.
Probably about 6. Just
2
a
hours
little bit.
Is a little.
Because guess what? I bet you we have the hall for the rest of the night.
That's true.
You feel me? And we want you to arrive perfectly fine.
Okay, cool. So
just don't be late to the white wedding.
Okay, so how was your Nigerian wedding you've been to?
Oh my days! First of all, I had 5 weddings last year. The year before I had 5 weddings. Last year I had 4 weddings that I was in. And my sweet cousin, Ebu, she got married and it was incredible. So we have 2 that we do. We do the traditional wedding. That's where we have like all the
that's what I'm saying.
Colors.
Yeah, the dress.
The big trip. You got the agbada.
Yes, I'm gonna say everybody dancing.
You all of that.
That's why I want that. I needs that.
Yeah.
Yeah, when you get married, you gotta invite me.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh yeah.
You're coming through.
I'm being so dead ass.
I'm not letting you go.
Yes.
I'm not letting you go.
Oh no, we're here.
Okay.
I just know the cup already in my hand.
Oh, okay. Because listen, we're gonna turn up for my wedding.
All right, that's what I'm saying. The Nigerian wedding is Nigerian
we're
weddings and Mexican quinceañeras are the top 2 party places.
I lie to you not. Like, we went to a wedding. I'm not gonna say how much we spent, right? But
I'm saying at least 10 grand.
Like, this is your family.
Oh yeah. How deep are Nigerian weddings?
What? Okay, first of all, if it's a traditional wedding, both of them, you're having at least 300, 400 people there.
Okay.
Right? And then your bridal train is probably like 7 people, maybe between 4 to 7 people.
Okay.
Right? Food, music, dancing, 3 outfit changes at least.
3 outfit changes?
3 outfit changes for the bride and the groom, yes. And then maybe 1 for the train. So like you guys will get dressed twice. We got dressed twice.
Wow.
I don't even know how to start. First, we have someone called the Alagai Joko, right? So that's the person that's like the MC for the night.
Okay.
And they narrate everything. The husband has to bring like yams and fruits and foods to show that she's not gonna starve, right? To prove.
I never knew none of this.
Oh, absolutely. You gotta bring cows, goats, all of that.
Wait, you mean like if you was like over there or here, like you in America with a cow?
Over here we don't bring the cows. Like we'll probably like.
But the yams is there though.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
The yams. Of course you gotta put a Bible there.
Okay, I'm bringing a cow.
But if you bring a cow.
I'm bringing a cow.
Are you really bringing a cow?
Well, how? Okay, so how? Let's see. What you do now? How fast you think you can get married then? You think? Never mind. We're not gonna go do that deep. How many years do you think you'll be married by? Like how many years after? Because I'm gonna say if you give me at least 2, I can get your cow. I can get your cow in 2. I'm gonna get your cow in 2.
You sure?
I'll put enough work in. We can get a cow.
Okay.
I'm sure I can run it.
If you give me 2 years, yeah, because I'll definitely be married by 30.
Yeah. So I'm pulling up like with the pickup truck with it in.
You sure?
Yeah.
But you don't have to bring it to the wedding. Just take it to the slaughterhouse. Because they'll take care. They'll cook it.
Does it have to be like a live cow?
You can bring a live cow.
That's why it gotta be the live cow.
Okay, but just take it to Burlington Beef. I got some connects over there. They'll
Yeah,
cut it up.
beef?
Yeah,
Okay, cool.
They'll cut it up and then they'll bring it to the ceremony. Because they're gonna be cooking. They cook from 2 nights before. They start seasoning.
So if I bring cow meat Y'all would cook it.
Yes. Yes.
I wouldn't look crazy.
No.
I feel like I'll definitely tell them beforehand, listen, I'm bringing some cow.
But do it, you have to do it 2 days before.
Ain't no problem.
Right? So you give it, because it's usually probably, well, we have caterers now, so we don't have to do it ourselves. But, you know, you give it to the caterer, like, hey, but we usually pay them in advance. Like, yo,
I need to be a caterer for Nigerian weddings.
Yeah.
But I make hella money.
You make bag. At least 4,000. At least. But the food gotta be good, though. Because there's nothing worse than having trash food.
What type of food is there? Is there like stuff that you have to make like traditionally?
Yes, jollof rice is going to be there.
Oh, obviously.
Fried eggs going to be there.
Okay.
Gizzard, which is gizzards and plantains and stewed meat together.
Okay.
Scotch eggs, which is like eggs but like rolled in dough and breadcrumbs and like seasoning.
Okay.
You gotta have what else? Plantains.
Obviously.
Chin, which is like hard dough balls, puff buns. You gotta have ewedu. Ewedu is jute leaves. You gotta have fufu. You gotta have sebo. Different kinds of the pando yam, right? Okay. Different kinds of fufu. So you've got semolina, you've got eba, you've got
amala. How much am I allowed to eat?
You can eat what?
So if I come with 2 plates, would they look at me crazy?
Every African wedding, it's called El Jajayu El Tube. You know what that means? No. That means you're gonna eat to your fill and you'll still take it home.
Okay, so that's the thing too. Is a lot of people like if I go to my boy's wedding, right?
Yes.
And I put the not styrofoam, put the aluminum foil over it, people don't look at you crazy. But in African wedding, they don't give a damn.
They're gonna give you Tupperware.
They're giving.
I'm serious. They're gonna give you Tupperware.
Oh,
they're like here all this stuff. Whatever you need to Pablo, just put it together. And they give you food to go. And they give you every wedding. They always give you like a thank you present from the family. So it'll be like pens with this person, with the name, with the wedding date.
Okay, question: do people take the centerpieces? That's a big thing at Black weddings. They take the centerpieces. Do people take the centerpieces? Yeah, that's the thing. That's the thing.
Really?
I take the centerpiece.
Why?
I'm leaving here with something.
But they're gonna give you stuff.
You don't get stuff at Black weddings.
Really?
No, Black weddings.
No souvenirs. You're getting a fan. You're getting containers.
Listen,
so like Tupperware.
A Black wedding, you're getting that same baked chicken or salmon. Then you gotta pick one. That shit basic as hell.
Boy, what? No, you gotta come to my wedding, yo.
No, I know this, but I'm gonna tell you the weddings that I've been to. The food was alright, but it was wedding. You know, there's a thing called like wedding food. It was wedding food. It's not food for, like for my wedding. I want Jamaican food. I want oxtails, jerk chicken, rice and peas, cabbage. I want samosas for people who can't eat meat. You know, like the good chutney, stuff like that. I really want food trucks. I want a taco truck.
That's what's up.
You get what you want. Chill.
Egg rolls.
Yes, and then I'm gonna get the little mini Ben & Jerry's ice cream. And I like red velvet cake. So red velvet ice cream, red velvet cake. So you have a little ice cream. It's still good about size, but yeah. And so I'll pass out so everybody can eat as much red velvet ice cream with red velvet cake.
You know what? Yeah.
See? Not as fun as yours though, but it's there. There's stuff in there though.
Listen.
The music. Mine is the music. The music gotta be jumping.
Afrobeat Jamaican.
Yes.
Dubstep.
I don't care if your grandma's shaking her booty.
Oh hell yeah!
We having fun.
And we have to, as long as it ends with Meek Mill.
Really?
Nigerian weddings, that's how it always ends.
Nigerians love Meek Mill?
Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me?
I never knew this.
If you go on YouTube right now, yes. Hold on, wait a minute.
Now y'all Nigerian, right?
Yo, every single, that's the last song that we always play. That's how we know it's over. And then we get in the...
Because that's HBCU stuff.
Oh, no, that's
because like my fraternity strolls to that. That's our stroll song.
Oh, really? Can you teach me how to stroll?
I would love to teach you how to stroll.
I always wanted to.
No. And on this point, this is Darren Smokey of the Darren Bear Podcast. We're here with Culture. Thank you so much for tuning in.
Thank you.
Woo! I cut that off early.
Wait, why? Why'd you cut that off?
It's a fight every time. I love what you do. I love how you move. You go and get the bag in the club, popping bottles, independent chick. I fell in love with you. Beauty and she booty freaking in bed. I love the way that you ride. It got me tripping all in the head. I caught a spell from you. You know you're different, girl. You forever be my soldier on no limit, girl. And yeah, you got my heart. It's me and you against the world. I know what you do. You know you're breaking, baby. I slide. They be hating every time I roll through. Think about it, we ball in silence. You be poppin', girl, you exotic. Haters worry about what we do, 'cause we together, that's a fact. You brought me close to you, you made my dreams come true. Really poppin', learn to cook from your mama. Ask your daddy, can I marry you?